Chair.
Gentlelady from Indiana, Ms. Houchin, is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Ranking Member Waters, and thank you to Chairman Gensler for speaking with us today. Chair Gensler, under the last Democrat chair of the SEC, Mary Jo White, the Commission adhered closely to the statutory authority of Congress. During her time as chair, 59% of the SEC's proposals were mandated by Congress. By contrast, under your leadership, only 17% of the Commission's proposals are mandated by Congress, according to a report from Professor Hal Scott of Harvard. Why is there such a rush under your chairmanship to promulgate so many rules without specific mandates from Congress?
It's because technology and the markets have changed so much. She was coming in as chair right after a financial crisis, so naturally there was, I think, 120 mandates that Congress placed. But you're accurate. We've picked up about 10 of those from Dodd-Frank, one from the Holding Foreign Companies Accountable Act.
Chair Gensler, there's a perception that the SEC is neglecting public input, and particularly from bipartisan letters that the members of Congress have sent to voice valid concerns regarding individual rules and the rulemaking process. The concerns encompass the bipartisan concerns about insufficient comment periods and a general response to bipartisan concerns regarding proposals on swing pricing, liquidity risk management, and equity market structure. Are you aware of similar bipartisan concerns being raised with previous SEC chairs? If not, could you elaborate on why the opinions of Congress don't factor into your considerations?
Well, the opinions of Congress most definitely factor into my consideration.
It doesn't seem so, Mr. Chairman. It does not seem so when only 17% of the proposals that you have brought forth are the result of mandates from Congress. I find it incredibly frustrating that any time we provide comment or send what we call strongly worded letters about our opinions on how the SEC should behave, it seems like these must be immediately thrown in the trash and disregarded. I want to turn to Reg SCI. The SEC originally adopted Regulation Systems Compliance and Integrity, otherwise known as Reg SCI, in 2014 in response to several market disruptions at national securities exchanges. Earlier this year, the Commission proposed to expand Reg SCI to certain broker-dealers. However, unlike in 2014, the Commission fails to provide a single instance of a broker-dealer systems disruption that had a significant market-wide impact in the securities markets. In fact, the SEC's own proposal acknowledges that broker-dealer systems performed well during the unprecedented trading volumes and volatility at the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. Further, the Commission admits that it, quote, finds it impracticable to quantify the many benefits associated with amended Regulation SCI. Once again, this seems like the Commission is providing a solution in search of a problem. Chairman Gensler, given that the Commission cannot point to a single broker-dealer systems disruption or any tangible benefits to applying Reg SCI to broker-dealers, how can you justify that proposal?
As we outlined in the proposal itself, which is still out for public comment, that some broker-dealers may have the size and scale and standing in the markets that if they were taken down, that could be disruptive to the markets. That's the important thing. And this so-called systems compliant integrity is about those most consequential or central parts of the market.
The SEC's Reg Flex agenda for 2023 indicates you intend to finalize proposed rulemaking to expand the definition of an exchange in short order. Although the SEC has reopened this rulemaking, the proposed rule is still fraught with insufficient economic analysis and ill-defining scope, among other things. Given Congress's ongoing and unaddressed concerns with the rulemaking, as well as concerns of hundreds of stakeholders, it seems irresponsible for the SEC to finalize this rulemaking. Could you comment on the expected timeline for finalization of this rule?
You'll be pleased to hear that we don't do it against a clock. It's really when we get the comments and the economics right and the legal authorities right, and then discuss it with the commissioners.
And finally, I want to raise an alarming issue that I think needs further attention: the timing of various actions by the SEC while Congress is seeking to establish a regulatory framework on digital assets. To name a few, January 12, 2023, this committee announces the formation of the Digital Assets Financial Technology and Inclusion Subcommittee. It was subsequently announced that the SEC pursued enforcement actions against 2 firms. March 9, 2023, the committee hosts its first hearing on the Biden administration's approach to digital assets. An hour before the hearing, you publish an op-ed in The Hill. April 27th, 2023, the committee hosts another hearing on digital asset regulation. You tweet and quote office hours video on your view that most digital assets are securities. May 3rd, 2023, this committee and the House Agriculture Committee, led by my colleague Chairman Thompson, announced our first joint hearing on digital asset legislation, which is unprecedented. You published another office hours. I'm not one to connect dots, but it seems like you're actively trying to undermine the work of Congress. You must not impede our work to do our job, even though you won't do yours. I yield back.
If the gentleman wants to respond.
I very much respect the work of this committee, and particularly the work of this committee around crypto assets. We have a robust time because this is a field that's rife with fraud and abuse, and so our enforcement agenda sometimes does roll out while you're doing your good work here as well.